Not
Are
really.
we?
No.
He's ready. Oh. Oh, man. Good job. Looks like you spelled the pack name right.
Me?
Yeah.
Buddy.
Uh,
I've
cool.
only like twice in 5 years have I ever had a big spelling error.
Oh, yeah. Right. Anyway, so we're good.
Hey, what's up, everyone? We are L5Ring tonight with the last pack of this Imperial cycle. Some house rules out the gate. Some of us are a little sensitive about a hockey and curling match that happened against the United States, so there will be no reference to anything Olympics from here on out.
You sure?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay, man. You guys still winning the medal count.
Yeah. We're creeping up, man. We're hitting
You're
all-time highs.
You're in third right now.
Yeah,
overall.
all-time highs, man. So, everybody, as you know, you have myself, Jameson. We are with Corey, and you have our good buddy Chad Bozeman up right here.
My brothers. Oh, sorry. I couldn't resist. I couldn't resist. It was so good. I couldn't resist.
So yeah, it was great.
It is not our way.
But
Okay.
So I know what you're thinking. What? We're almost at the end of February, and we're just not getting to the last pack of the Imperial cycle. You're in luck, because you would think we're so far behind. But there's not been anything released since we started this.
Yep.
So we still got plenty of time.
Yeah, we actually knew what the release schedule was going to be, so we had to try and draw it out accordingly to fill content.
That's right. Yeah.
It was also very strange too, because like we said before, Fantasy Flight waits for us to get caught up in schedules. So
yeah.
Apologies.
Sorry.
So let's get this recipe brewing here.
Yeah.
And
so then they can get the Disciples of the Void out of the printers.
yeah, some people want it.
Out. No.
So
we're holding it all up.
if you would very much like, we would very much appreciate it if you could just give this video a thumbs up after you're done with it, and subscribe right along to our YouTube adventures. Then on the way down there, you will see the description link for our tier list if you need to follow along. That being said, do I want to...
Do you want to go over real quick, just a quick rundown for those who maybe just be jumping in? Like this might be one of the first videos of how the tier list works.
The tier list is we've got a bunch of categories, and we slot cards into them based on how far you can throw them.
The cool thing is, since it's living,
Iron Mine is up first.
Yeah.
Oh, damn, that was far. That carried weight, man.
I would give it a good. Yeah.
It's good.
You want to know here a weird story why I always think about a marking system like that? Totally side tangent. Is we had this teacher, and this is nothing to do with anything about the education system in Canada, by the way. This is just how it worked out. But this teacher, and we found out in post-secondary that he used to mark essay-style questions by dropping them down the stairwell, and the ones that had the most writing he figured were the heaviest and would go the farthest. He didn't.
What?
He got fired.
Okay, wow. I was like, what? There's so many problems with this. There's so many flaws. Ways the system wouldn't make sense.
I know, but
Classic.
I mean, realistically, it kind of makes sense, I guess, right? Like, there's a lot of weight on those pages. If you have more pages together, those will go farther. They'll travel a better distance when you drop them down a stair.
What? What?
All right, so we're doing the meditations on the Ephemeral.
That's how I feel, right?
This guy right here. All right. So we ready to get started?
Yep, no changes in the current ranking system as it is right now. So let's rip in.
Everything still feels good. All right, so we're going to get this started with the Crab Clan. So the first card on our list is the Iron Mine, as Jameson demonstrated by throwing it somewhere. This is a crab holding mine, strength +0. Interrupt. When a character you control would leave play, sacrifice this holding instead.
I'll jump in. No.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, this seems like an impactful holding that Crab likes. One of the big strengths of Crab is being able to get a lot of mileage out of their characters and let people hang on even without fate on them to last turn after turn. And now they get a holding that helps them continue doing that. Seems solid for their game plan.
My only apprehension.
No, go for it. Go for it.
I was gonna say, it's really brief, but my only apprehension is that we exist currently in this game, right? Like the characters are still really really big. They're the meat potatoes of every deck. So when you add cards like this into your deck, this advantage has to be fairly significant, right? You are terrified of the event happening where 2 or 3 or whatever of these are in play at once, where you all of a sudden have to now you don't really get to utilize it to its best possible effect. But I think in general,
I'd be terrified if I flopped 3 of them.
Yeah.
But I also think the moment you start to see like multiples of these, like let's say you did get like 2 out, I think it also changes your game plan for how you pay for characters as well. You're probably going to not overpay for a character because you want to probably get one of these out of play by sacrificing as soon as possible.
And you also have Rebuild as an option, because in that case, cards like Rebuild almost become like you adding a fate towards the end of the turn. The cool thing about Iron Mines is, again, clearing fate off Crab characters doesn't mean that they're going to go away, which is always like a fear, because you get some really good heavy hitters and things like that, and they have some obnoxious characters. And they're just one of those clans, when you see them sitting on 0 fate, you're not necessarily sure they're going to go away. They have lots of ways to kind of keep them in, and especially if you see Iron Mine sitting, then you're like, cool, now I need to either deal with this province to get the Iron Mine out, or again, they're going to start beating me on the curve, because Crab are super efficient with how they're managing those dynasty characters. So for me, I think I want to drop this card in probably like above average. I don't think it's like a mandatory, like you have to play with these, but I think it's great for Crab. So
I like it a lot. A lot.
Yeah. I mean,
I think this fits into Crab's. Oh man, this makes them so sticky. This gives you options here. Dude, you already have ways to keep them around, and this is when a character you control would leave play. It's not giving you any stipulation about, it has to be a certain printed cost, or it can't be this, or no certain trait, or only a Crab guy. When a character you control leaves play, boom, plain and simple. Crab also, you can do the rebuilds with these. So you have synergy. You also have reprieve.
It also
awesome
gives you
card.
protection from just removal in general, because you can use it. Yeah.
This I really like this, where as we're seeing the game move to meteor cards that cost more fate, I love the fact that you're able to throw a big character out and have him stick around with everything that Crab has available to them, and lets you use your fate elsewhere. This is going to let you keep your best characters in play that extra turn, and I think this is a awesome play for Crab. I'm saying that this should probably be like 3 in any Crab deck at the moment. But keep in mind that you have to build accordingly for this, because there comes a point when I kind of joked about with Hollis there, where if you have too many of these holdings in your deck, you're really getting to the point where you're not flopping out characters, and you're kind of trudging through a swamp of holdings to get to those big characters that you want to play. So balance accordingly, but for the cost that you're of only a deck slot, because you're flopping it up, it's not doing anything. This is one of the best holdings that I think you can play with.
Oh yeah, but I think the fact that it is a holding is also kind of like it's negative. I guess that's how it balances it.
Yeah, that's why I think
because you can run into the issue of you flip too many of them, or you flip it at a moment where you may not necessarily have like the best target for it. You know, like early game, these are not things I don't know if you really want to see turn one unless you've got something really good to accompany it.
I haven't done any math, but essentially this is just like this is the equivalent of adding a fate to a card.
Kind of, but I mean, even the prevention of like removal is also super strong.
So I dig it, and I think this is a good card.
Cool. I can be persuaded up to that.
I think I'm going to stick it at above average.
Oh, so that means did I sway Corey enough to go good?
Yeah, I'll get good with you.
Yeah.
I hate you so much.
You had a strong case.
I love coming out the gate with the first win of the night.
Hey. All right. So next up we have Kuni Ritsuko. This is a crab character, Sugan Joe of Earth. She is a cost 4, military 4, political 2, glory 1. Reaction. After this character wins a conflict as a defender, choose an attacking character. Remove 1 fate from that character. So 1, this character passes the test for crab of has political, has a strong military stat, and low glory. Those are all good. Plus adding the Sugenja keyword helps to keep opening up more cards and stuff for the crab playset. And she has a great defense ability that can punish your opponent if they load up fate on characters, or if they just lightly fate a character, that if they don't win that conflict, you're pushing that clock faster, because now they may lose an extra character at the end of it. It's not a bad ability. I like it.
Hollis?
When you look in the back, is she like exploding? Is it like a skeleton or something?
It looks like a skeleton, like she's just straight up exploding it. In general, I find just any character anything you can do as a reaction to remove fate just seems so freaking like powerful. And the stats are decent here, right? A 4 for 4/2, that's pretty good.
That's for good, crab, because military. If you think about what she's defending on Stronghold, she's actually a 5/3.
Yeah, I like that.
If you factor in Stronghold ability, which isn't bad. I said the biggest thing about crab is you need political, right? Because they don't like cards that are dashes, because it doesn't allow that character to defend in both options. They don't necessarily need to win it either. They seem to have decent stats to even just prevent you from breaking.
Yeah. Man, I really don't have much to add. As lame as that sounds, I feel like the card is just so straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
You crab, you defend things. She defend good. It's like
right.
It's like the Zoolander like description of what she does. I'm crab, I defend things. She defend good and remove fate. Like I think that just sums it up really well. I think this is good.
To me, this plays into Crab's style of that slow meat grinder, right? Like, like, hey, you won on defense, right? And this is what I'm gonna do. Turn the wheel again. Hopefully, try and get through some offensive stuff. Hey, I won on defense. This is what I'm gonna do to you. Turn the gear again. But to me, this card, so I don't think this is super crazy of a card. I'm kind of impartial if it's
right.
and pretty on the fence about it, for a couple reasons. So I'm gonna just say right now I'm kind of average to below average on it. What I'm looking at here is that it's unique. So that kind of lowers it a little for me. But what brings it kind of back up into the average territory is the Shugenji keyword on this. This gives Crab another Shugenji, and they don't have many of them at all.
Right.
which again, which essentially turns this into a combo piece for me, because now they can be able to pack in Cloud the Mind, which if you're a crab player, you probably were trying to do some weird shit if you wanted to play Cloud the Mind, and Cloud the Mind being such a powerful card as it is right now, I'd say you could probably throw a couple Cloud the Mind in your deck now reliably if you're playing with this card. And obviously the other Shigenji that Crab has available to them.
Which is the Steadfast Witch Hunter.
Yeah, something like
right
I just know the witch. So if you're doing that, now you can probably play with Cloud the Mind a little more reliable, and it kind of levels the playing field because you're probably getting Cloud the Mind played on you a shitload, because I mean, who's not contemplating putting that in their deck if you have the room, right? So for that reason,
I play Lion though. Yeah, sad.
For that reason, I'm just gonna say that this is an average card.
I'm with you. I think average is about right. I don't think she's like jaw-droppingly amazing. But she is an ability that your opponent does have to think about. But she's good stats for the cost, and she gives you a good keyword. So if you're gonna play with things that'll trigger off of it, she's not a bad option.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Hollis, you with us on that?
I'm with you.
Any thoughts? Okay.
No, I
Okay.
Sorry, I was blowing my nose. I apologize.
All right, hit the next one. You got the...
Okay, so now we move into the beautiful lands of the Crane clan, and we'll start off with the Pillow Book. This is a Crane attachment item, cost 0, military 0, political 0. Action: while attached character is participating in a conflict, reveal the top card of your conflict deck until the end of the conflict. While the remains revealed, you may play that card as if it were in your hand. Okay, cool. Does Crane need more cards that lets them look at the top card of their conflict deck and play? I don't think so. I mean, I think they've already got many ways to manipulate, and I don't know. I don't know if this is like you want to play with a deck slot that then has to be played on a character that then has to have that character be involved in the conflict to then reveal the top card that top card is maybe useful for you. I don't know. I'm not super impressed by this card.
Yeah, it feels very awkward, right? I like the concept where you sort of artificially get the option of increasing your hand size. Like effectively, this card says when this character joins a conflict, draw the top card of your deck. Because I mean, you get to play it as if it's in your hand, right?
You do, and the thing is too, in order to fire this ability, it's an action, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you have to be in the conflict. Then you have to take an action. Which, granted, if you're using like stall techniques, I guess maybe. But you then are like, I'm not doing anything. I'm now showing you what this card is that I might be able to play against you on this conflict.
Yeah.
Your go. And then
yeah.
It's like, all right, now, that card was worthless. That card doesn't do anything in this conflict. That's cool. So.
Like when I look at it, it just doesn't seem like the effect. It's a zero cost, right? So a lot of times when we look at zeros, we have a lot of zero cost cards, especially neutral ones, to sort of compare to in power level.
This is a 2 influence Crane card.
Yeah, and this is 2 influence in Crane costing 0. I don't think the power level of this effect at 0 is still even good enough. It's basically what I put in the category of what's called neat. It's a neat thing to see, but it doesn't. But neat doesn't translate into good or cute or anything like that. Or it translates to cute, but it doesn't translate to being. So if I had
I feel like there's better options for your conflict deck slots.
Yeah, I feel like this is for me. This lands directly. I think this actually I'm going to put at below average.
Whoa.
Yeah. For me, I'm just giving it ahead of time. I'm giving it below average.
Yeah. Are you trying to find a case for this, Jameson?
Well, I mean, essentially, it's a free draw.
Kind of. You're revealing the card. You're revealing the card to your opponent, which again, it's a Crane thing. Crane loves to show cards off.
Yeah. But the thing is while attached characters stay in conflict, reveal a top card until the end of the conflict. while it remains revealed, you may play that card as if it were in your hand. So you don't have to play it as part of the conflict.
No, you do.
And I mean, it doesn't need to be used in the conflict. You can just you can, right? Like if I have a conflict,
you could play it out whenever.
Right, but like I can, if I have something that to play, I can maybe put it on a different guy or do something, right? Like,
yeah, you could.
I can play it all over, and like, I mean, I feel that it's not a card that you're gonna whiff, that you're gonna be like whiffing on. Like what is Crane? You know, you got fans, you got katanas, you know, Way of the Cranes, you know, I don't know. A whole bunch of stuff going on. Like, are you splashing, you know, Pathfinder blades or whatnots?
Yeah. I mean, it does give you a way to reveal their options, but then isn't their holding doing the same thing?
Mm.
Doesn't their holding already just show the top card?
You didn't try and put me in my place?
I'm just asking. Just saying, like, don't they have another card that does the same effect, and you don't need to specifically put it on a character, and then have that character be involved in the conflict? That's the thing too. Like, based on who you have it on, could also impact the timing.
Okay,
because
so
maybe you want to attack with that character, and maybe your opponent has initiative.
So what about using it out of faction? Is out of faction? Are you pulling it up anymore? Like like I'm not someone that's gonna really be heavily looking at going for a Crane Splash, but
so it is 2 influence, right? I don't know. Like, if you need card draw, it could be interesting. It's something that maybe I'd have to play around with more if I could tell you whether I feel like that's good or bad. Now it's an attachment. I don't know if your opponent wants to use. I mean, attachment hate's kind of gone up and down a little bit. But then you have things like, you know, like theft, right? Where your opponent will like steal the card from you. As a more so than they're more likely to just like destroy it. And then you're giving that card draw advantage to your opponent, which can be a bit of a problem. So, I don't know. It's interesting. I don't think this card's bad. I just don't. I could maybe see a case argued for it being splashed out of faction more so than maybe Crane needs it.
All right. So what are you guys saying? Were you marking below average for Pillow Book?
I'm probably going to go below average.
Okay. All right.
So I don't get to play against a ton of Crane, and I don't play Crane.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So next up, we have the Silver-Tongued Magistrate. This is a Crane character, Bushi Imperial Magistrate. Costs 3, military 2, political 2, glory 1. While this character is attacking, each other character that has no fate on it does not count its skill towards the resolution of this conflict. So if you don't have fate on your characters while this character is attacking, you don't get to contribute anything.
So obviously, the characters that are going to have fate on it are going to be, they're either going to be incredibly strong, really, really cheap characters that cost like 1 or 2,
right?
Or they're going to be the big beefy guys. And I kind of dig that, but I also feel like I feel like this is like another target that's like basically primed for like a disable.
You know what? If this magistrate had courtier, I would really like this card.
Yeah, it is lacking that, isn't it?
It doesn't have courtier on it, and in Crane, 3 for a 2/2 with only one glory feels real bad, even with an okay effect.
That's true.
It's a lot of these magistrates, they have like certain matchups where they feel really good, and then there's matchups where they're just not good options. Like, I really struggle to see like how this card is great in the dragon matchup, or like, yeah, but maybe it's really good in the crab matchup where they're not loading a bunch of fate down on stuff.
But here's the thing with a card like this, it's just the wording. While this character is attacking, each other character that has no fate on it. Okay, now that is every character that is included. Like, I'm saying your side and my side.
Yeah.
Okay? So, basically, what I want you to do when you play against me is not put fate on your guys. And I'm going to
load a bunch of fate on my guys.
Yeah.
Which, if Mono no Aware or whatever, which we'll talk about much later, wasn't a card in the game, would be much easier to do. But the fact that that card exists and that card sees play makes that really hard to do and stay above the curve and not just get like swarmed out.
Right. Like I feel like, you know, if this card was anything seeing play, then people are going to put fate on their characters against you. And then if you do that, then you're screwed.
Yeah. Then you have a 3-cost 2/2 with 1 glory, which is not a good cost for Crane, and no courtier trade.
So I don't like rewarding somebody for doing something that I, you know, don't want them to do, right? Like, or want them to do. Like, don't put fate on your guys, because then your guys can disappear. But now you're gonna load fate, so they're stickier, and now it's harder for me to, you know, to get that that advantage up.
And then you may never even see this card, so you're adjusting your whole play style, keeping fate on guys for a card that may never show up.
I don't think this is seeing an include, man.
No, I don't think so either.
I mean, it just feels like it being, you know, this condition doesn't really just doesn't seem strong enough. Not yet. I mean, unless you have an amazing read on your opponent and they set themselves up in a way to where this card is like clearly hugely impactful, there's probably something better for this cost.
Yeah, like what are you doing? Like letting it sit out there for, like for waiting on timing before you play this? Like,
yeah, super awkward.
Like
super awkward because they see it.
Crap.
They see it coming.
He just dropped 2 fate on that guy. Now put this guy out 3 turns from now.
Got him.
Yeah.
So where do you put this? Where would you drop it, Jameson?
Honestly, I'm going to HE. That's Hollis Echo this card and slide it right to terrible. I don't like it.
Whoa!
Damn, he went straight into the T-zone.
I wasn't going to drop it in terrible. But I will drop it in bad. I will drop it in bad, though. I will do that. I'll drop it in bad.
Yeah, I will second the bad. I'll rescue it from the pit of terrible. But I still don't think it's a bad card. Or I think it's a good card. All right. Well, that's it. That's all I got for Crane. So now we move on to Dragon. This one will be real quick. It is the Seal of the Dragon. So this is a 0-cost 0 plus military 0, political +1. Attached character gains the Dragon Clan symbol and the monk trait. All right, Jameson, you're the dragon player.
Well, I'm still.
How good is this seal?
Oh, you did Seal of the Dragon next.
It gives him the monk trait now. Now we have seen a couple cards that actually utilize the monk trigger.
Oof, dude, this is.
I only want to give this card a little bit of weight because I want the monk deck to be a reality. And I think when the monk deck happens, maybe. But this gives political, not military. Which I guess is right for monks. Seems accurate.
Okay, so...
But...
So I had to kind of think about this. You're getting a political.
Yeah,
right?
for free.
Yeah, your character gains the dragon symbol. You're getting the monk trait.
Sure.
It's in dragon and it's an attachment for 0.
So with the monk trait, that does turn on, what is it? Those 2 like element action cards and high kick.
Mm-hmm.
So there are 3 conflict cards that it turns on with the monk trait. Think about that.
Mm-hmm. Let me just check one other one too.
Is this a seal?
Mantra of fire?
Yeah, there's Mantra of fire, and then there's the Mantra of...
water.
There's water. That's it. So there are 3 different cards that are activated by them off the monk trait.
Mm-hmm. The centipede tattoos, right?
Oh, holy shit. You're right. It's the Centipede Tattoo monk specific.
Yeah, attached character gaining abilities there, man. And what was the other one? Sorry, which one did you say?
And then high kick. So, is this a seal?
It will combo with the guy that untaps monks. The visionary.
Okay. So, do we have a seal that we may actually rate below average? Above terrible. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Most of them have been hitting in the bad to terrible range. Does this one have enough cards playable out right now that it could be argued to be an include? Also, because it synergizes with Stronghold, and it's a free attachment that's a buff. So if you think about it, you play it, that's like +2 political, +1 military.
So the problem I have with this card is that if there was ever a time to play it, it's now.
Yeah.
Because
while you're waiting on more monks to come out.
Exactly. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because once you have a monk deck, like, I don't need my monks to be all monkier.
Right. Is that the accurate way to say that?
Yeah, it's a politically correct way. Right, so, but the problem is I don't know if I would actually be
willing to play this card.
Yeah, I don't think I'm using. Well,
are you really using Mantra of Fire and Mantra of Water? Probably not.
No.
High kick is good.
Honestly, that whole thing was just to try and I was when I saw this seal, and because I'm a dragon player, I was just trying to sway you, see if I could change your mind.
Wow. Yeah, still feels bad though.
It does, but I mean, it's the most sealest of all the seals. Right? Like,
nice.
Nice. Hey, it's doing stuff.
It's the better of the seals.
Yeah.
And only slightly.
I mean, I don't know.
Slightly.
Like, is that?
I still think the crowd one's probably the best, just because your potential synergy is off of Crisis Breaker. But this one's probably the next best one. And this is like arguing cards where they rank in like the not good area. So where would you rank this?
I mean, we
below
ranked
average, bad.
I want to. It's either below average or bad. Right now,
I think be willing to give this bottom of below average.
I think just because it's an attachment and it's in Dragon, for what it can do for 0 and giving the political bump, I don't think it deserves to be dropped into totally bad. So I'd say it's below average.
Cool. I'm with you on that. I think if they're a faction that can make use of that card, at least not feel as bad.
And it's only because not because the card itself, but it's because what they do with attachments.
Yeah.
So are you
cool with that, Hollis?
This is gonna let you slide an attachment out, get an attachment bonus on something, and spend more fate on the actual bigger, badder cards themselves, right? So.
This is not the way. I believe this card to be bad. I would place it near the middle of bad.
No. Thanks.
I would place it in the middle. I would place it in the middle of bad. That's where I would put it.
We'll make the middle bad. So there you go. Nah, I think we got it below average. We made it. A seal made it.
Well,
all right.
I think we said the Scorpion was below average too.
Oh man, that one probably needs to go down. Anyway, next up we have Tagashi Mendicant. This is a dragon character, another monk, and he's tattooed. Cost 1, military 1, political 1, glory 1. Dude likes his ones. Reaction: after the fate phase begins, look at the top 3 cards of your dynasty deck, then put them back in any order. All right, Jameson, how's this card make you feel? It's a cheap monk, right? So you have another monk. the Dreams of the Monk deck.
Hey,
and you get Dynasty deck manipulation.
Well, steal all my good points.
Sorry, you can go.
I don't got. This is. I'm not using them.
Yeah, is he too weak? Too low stats?
Yeah. I just don't. I'm probably gonna have to pass on him, man.
Yeah, I think in the standard build dragon right now, he's not a good option.
No.
But if this monk build ever comes out, just because you want the monk keyword to spread around, he's a great option for that deck whenever that deck exists. But right now, he's not super hot, just because he's so weak, and Dragon doesn't like to have these types of characters floating around the board.
I mean, for his ability, what you're getting is just, it's not really anything that you can just do. You can't do anything with that information by itself.
Right.
Like, you need other things to be there. You need to either have like holdings that you can snap to be able to draw up, or stuff like that. And to get you those cards, like seeing cards and it is nice, but it's really not going to do too much for you in that turn. I mean, it may help out a little bit about how much like fate you want to hold back or do what, but you know, if I mean, I think you have to play a turn with like to its fullest. Like, you can't hold back if you have an opportunity or there's a window, or you have to like obviously jam something out on the board to using fate to play defense. You don't want to open up windows in this game too big for your opponent. So I just don't think seeing the 3 cards of your Dynasty deck is really that valid right now until you could pick them up.
Yeah. So
I really
So
oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I just don't think it's that impactful. The best thing about it is that it's a 1-drop that gives you a very basic stats. So if you really want a 1-drop and it isn't Tattooed Wanderer, right? Then this is another option. Maybe you just you would just like to play something different than Tattooed Wanderer as a 1-drop. I don't know.
Yeah, but he's still a Dynasty character.
Oh yeah, I mean,
yeah, he's not a conflict drop.
This is just really I just feel like this is really difficult.
He's right. It's just if you want another monk, the keyword off of, that's really it right now. And I just don't think that's good.
No.
Currently.
Yeah.
So I vote him in either bad or below average.
I'd say it's bad. It doesn't have a home right now, man.
Yeah. Okay, I'm with that. Any disagreements, Hollis? Or are you with it?
I think it's bad.
Okay. Next up, we have Written in the Stars.
Even when it comes around, there's got to be better monks that are going to be coming.
We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
I mean, if they don't, that monk's deck is never going to flush out.
Yeah, it's going to be sad. Written in the Stars. This is a dragon event and omen. Cost 1. Action. Select 1. Place 1 fate on each unclaimed ring with no fate on it, or remove 1 fate from each unclaimed ring. So this seems to play around into the other mechanic that dragons can deal with, where they can manipulate rings a little bit, as far as like the rings that have fate on them and stuff like that, which seems neat. I don't know if that deck exists yet, but as you get more and more things that allow you to manipulate fate on rings and things that get better with fate on rings, this could be an interesting card for that deck. But that deck just isn't out yet.
So this is, unfortunately, this is the common theme kind of for dragon, what's happening right now is every time we're looking at certain cards, we're like, this card would fit in a deck that doesn't exist. This card will fit in a deck that doesn't exist. If this monk deck ever comes to play, blah, 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 blah. But it's honestly, it's just not there. Like, I don't see this card. Yeah, Paul. I don't see this card having room. I don't see me opening up deck space for this card to slot in.
Dragon's like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You've got all these like side movies, so you finally get to the Infinity Saga, and you just got to wait on it. You got to go through all the other storylines until you get to the one you really want.
Right, like I feel like right now what Dragon wants is attachments, not events like this.
Mm-hmm. So they want to really, at least until we see what like they get other strongholds that do, right? Because if they get a stronghold that plays real stuff like this, man, this event could be awesome. But with what they have currently, it's not that useful. So where would you drop it? Do you think it's bad? Below average?
No, I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's terrible. I would say...
I think it's below average. That's where I kind of feel. But this is one that could easily fluctuate up if it gets some really good things to synergize off of it.
Well, I mean, the Stone of Sorrows we have as a below average card. And if you want to do some kind of weird combo with Written in the Stars and the Stone, you know, you can generate some fate, deny some fate. Like, so it's there if you want to do something, but I don't think that is super awesome at the moment. So I'd have to say it's below average.
Okay. Any extra thoughts on that, Hollis? Or you
the ability is just so silly right now. It's like
look at the star.
It's like, oh, I'm going to take some fate and put it on these. Like it's like, it's cool, it's neat, and like you can have some really cute interaction with it, but none of it seems like it's game altering enough to justify doing it over just trying to win the damn game.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think it's pretty bad.
Yeah, until there becomes like some really good mechanics to really work off of that. All right, so we're done with Dragon. Now I move to the Lands of the Lion. And we will start off with a Legion of One. This is a Lion event, cost 0 action. During a military conflict, choose a character that is participating on your side alone. Until the end of the conflict, that character gets +3 military. You can remove 1 fate from that character to resolve this ability twice. So you could effectively +6 military, a solitary attacker for Lion.
And then you can bonsai!
Yeah, you could bonsai, you could weigh the lion.
And then you can do this again!
I'm going to tell you, Toshiro in this card is that dude solo triggers rings. Yeah. He's just like, I want to fire and win this ring ability. I'm just going to go by myself. I'm going to use my ability for +5, and then I'm going to Legion of One, and I'm getting this ring trigger. I'm a big fan of this card. I think it's right up the alley for more military buffs for Lion. The fate trigger can be a little hard at times, but there's still characters you bring out that you put fate on, right? Lion's Pride Brawler, Honor General. So those guys usually get overfilled with fate, and you get the ability of sending like a brawler by itself. And then you just Legion of One the brawler, buffer strength up insane, bow whoever you want off her ability, and then go to town, take a province. So this card is really good for Lion. I mean, it plays right into their game plan.
Hollis, did you have stuff to add?
Well, I mean, I'm inclined to agree. I mean, you're doing military stuff, and now it's like, I'm gonna buff you. I'm gonna buff you again in this one conflict. You attacking alone? I don't need anybody else.
Yeah.
I just need you. What is your like your strength by yourself? I mean, because Lion has like a 1-drop with 4 strength, can only be an attacker. Is that right? Am I crazy?
I think you are.
Right. So it's like, but I'm saying like choose one one single character. They start with 4, and now you have a +6, and then here's a bonsai. So now you have a +4. At some point, your opponent is like rubbing, but their hands are in the air. They're dragging. They're like, hold on, when did you do this? Yeah,
and then they're just like, what is it like? Miyamoto's Fury.
Then
yeah.
Or like, damn it. Or because the card is only 2 influence, they're like, I'll play my own.
Right. I mean,
which is an option.
That's true. It is an option.
So I agree. I think this card is very good.
Cool.
Do you think it's possibly great?
I mean, I would put it in the great.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm a Lion player, so I'm a bit partial.
No,
good, I think it's a safe play.
I think this is the first great card in that Lion has. I'll break it down for a couple reasons. It's 0.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell is this card costing 0? Second, still looking at stats. That's 2 splash. Man, that's extra bonsai that you can take out of faction. That's ridiculous. I think that's not unrealistic to think that if somebody is already wanting to pull some Lion cards in, that this card will be looked at as a second edition. Next, you have the element of surprise that this works with. Lion has a lot of ways to kind of cheat cards in. So maybe you have this guy up there. You have like a guy, like a Legion of One, ready to attack, and then all of a sudden you got charge and spirit callers and other ways, and all of a sudden you got a whole wackadoo of guys going at something.
Wackadoo. You gotta watch out for the wackadoos of Lion.
Like ready to make a push. But what I also like too is that the last thing that is the icing on the cake here is that Lion is a very, very offensive, like that whole just full out charge in on the attack. This card, because it says during a conflict, it doesn't say what side of the conflict it needs to be on. So this card is able to let you pull out some crazy defense if you need it.
Yeah.
So because you're able to do defense rather than charge in with it, I think that's such an added value on top. I mean, if it was only when you were the attacking player, that would have been a good card. But because it can be used in a defensive like perspective, I have to say that it's great, man.
Well, I'm okay with that. Because we're going to go to the complete opposite of the spectrum when we get to the next card.
Oh, boy.
Are we ready?
Yeah,
I'm ready.
All right. Then we have the Beastmaster Matriarch. This is a Lion character, Bushi, cost 4, military 3, political 2, glory 2. This character has +2 military for each ring in each opponent's claimed ring pool. 4 cost for a 3/2. Yeah, she gets bigger as rings get claimed by your opponent. So if your opponent went first and then won both challenges.
This is a poor catch-up mechanic that they're trying to build in here.
Yeah, plus it's an expensive character. Even with all the cheat and the play effects, there's so many better options for characters to cheat in. This is not a good one to do it. I do really love the theme of like the Beast Tamers, and having like the people with packs of lions and shit like that. Like that's real cool. This is not the good card to introduce that mechanic. or to show off those types of characters.
I've got a Beastmaster in play. If I let my opponent
Just win rings.
win 2 rings on me, potentially during those he might have broken a province, I can probably get this up to 7 military? Yeah.
Or I could have just played any other character and then just used that Legion of One that I talked about earlier and probably got really close to that.
Yep. Yes, sir. Yes, absolutely.
Man,
Yes.
This makes no sense in the playstyle that Lion's playing in their Zerg Rush style stuff.
Yeah.
Man. This is so anti-synergy that like I feel like if you were ever in a moment where you're getting value off this card, the game
you're losing the game.
The game is done. Like your ability to pull off what your faction does, you're already 2 in the hole. Like you've either been, it completely annihilated your board. You've lost a couple turns, and now you're like, here we go. And if you're not, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. If you're putting cards in your deck because you're saying to yourself, I'm going to lose, then you might as well not play, right? Like, this is essentially rewarding you for losing. Like,
there aren't any Martell factions in this game, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't get better by doing bad.
Yeah, like, so you know what I mean there? Don't put a recovery mechanic like this in your deck, because this is a hole that you've dug that you're not getting out of.
This definitely isn't the card that's getting you out of it.
No.
So I think I put this card in bad. And
I don't disagree.
You know what? But to me, this is almost terrible, though. I don't feel that it fits in with the style. If you're not getting that bonus, like, is that 4 for 3/2 with 2 glory? Is that like, are you playing that? Take away that bonus? Like, hey, it's a bushi character. Like, honestly, like, blank the, like, cloud the mind there, right? Like, take that text box away. Take that text away. So it only says bushi. It's a 4 for 3/2/2.
That's terrible.
Yeah, that's pretty terrible.
That's what I'm saying, man.
That's pretty damn terrible.
So you guys all agree then?
All right, fine.
Well,
hey, you just admitted it live.
Yeah, I did. You got me
live at
the back the recording.
Jameson, well played.
Live at the garden.
Well played, sir.
Got him.
All right. So next up, we move on to the Phoenix Clan.
Woo!
So we have Asako Suki. This is a Phoenix character, courtier, scholar, Sugan Joe, water, cost 2, military 1, political 2, glory 2, reaction. After the water ring is claimed, choose a scholar character, honor that character. Neat. So this is a unique character, so you can have multiples in play. It's fine. Her ability triggers off scholars when the water ring is claimed. So I've actually played against the Phoenix deck last week, week before last, where they were trying to do this theme. They're playing with the seals to add scholars, and they played with all the scholars they could, and it just is not efficient. It does not work really well right now in the game.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't that great. It didn't do well. I'm just telling you, it didn't do well.
Was it
maybe it needed more time?
Yeah. Was it piloted by like a veteran in the Phoenix?
I don't know how long they've been playing Phoenix, so I can't tell you that. I just know that when I saw what they were trying to do, I was just like, there has to be better options. You're playing with the Seal of Phoenix. Do you know what we rated that card? anyway. So yeah, now this is one of those characters that, like, as scholars come out, which is very likely considering we've got like a Phoenix themed pack about to drop, as soon as we're done recording this video, then this character could be awesome. Right now, I don't think she's bad, but I don't think she's like, oh my god, insane. So,
Right.
So, I mean, I think for a cost, like 2 cost for a 1/2 with 2 glory isn't terrible. She's a Sugan Joe and a courtier, which is good. And her ability can situationally be useful.
And she's a scholar, man.
She is a scholar, so at worst, she could honor herself.
Yeah.
So
What I do like about, obviously, like, the mechanic in Phoenix with scholars is that they are normally very inexpensive, but they give you a small benefit, and they usually come with a lot of glory, so that when they do become honored, they go from being just like a 1/1 or a 1/2 or what have you, or a 0 something, to being massive with the glory now. With 2 glory, a cheap scholar that costs you 1 can be a card that gives you a 4 in some stat for 1, which is amazing. But I guess the question there would be, is that actually worth the inclusion of her compared to other options? She herself is also fairly inexpensive. She only costs 2.
Is. And the fact that her ability triggers just when the Wood Ring is claimed, doesn't matter by who,
Right.
means that she can honor herself, which plays off the Stronghold ability, and turns her into a 3/4 for 2 cost.
I like that.
I really like this card.
Yeah, it's cool, right? If because it does work when your opponent because it works regardless of who claims it. It also has a unique counterplay, because water, water, I feel like, is a very commonly chosen ring compared to
Phoenix has some good cards that synergize off of it.
Right, and so it just feels like, it incentivizes your opponent wants to claim it, because they would rather gain the effect on the ring, obviously, compared to you gaining the effect on the ring. But knowing that you get this large benefit, and on top of that, the other existing cards in Phoenix that just say you should have claimed it regardless. Your opponent actually has as Phoenix, you have the ability. If your opponent decides, I'm gonna pony up and try to win this water conflict, you can just say, okay, we'll display a power. It's mine anyway.
Yeah, I think self-contained, like, she's a good character. I think to try to build heavy into firing her ability multiple times is not great right now, but could potentially get a lot better. But I like her. I think she's a good character.
So I'm just kind of doing a rundown here quickly, looking at
of scholars.
Yeah, right. So you got the
noted Phoenix scholars.
Yeah, you got the disciple, you got the student, the solemn scholar. Those guys are rocking 2 glory. Like, Solemn Scholar only has 1, right? So I really feel that also this could potentially make the seal of the Phoenix.
Don't say it. Don't do it. It's the wrong way to go. It's the wrong way to go.
No, wrong direction.
I'm just saying that.
No, you just gotta bide your time and wait on more scholars to come out. Don't dip in like that. This is your same monk logic, right?
Dude, yeah. This is a card that's gonna thread this theme together, man. This is what I feel like.
It's really gonna tie the room together.
Yeah, this is the rug, dude. So I'm not okay. So, but so all with those scholars that are out there, right? Like, she's a great cost. You have to look at it that after the water ring is claimed, Corey, that was the point that I was going to make. Like, it doesn't matter, right? Like, I'm my turn. I'm going to challenge for the water ring. If I lose, man, you still claimed it.
Still fire the ability.
Boom.
But
I got a bunch of.
I mean, I think she's good. Like, I'm willing to put her in the good ranking, because I think even self-contained, she's perfectly fine by herself, even if she doesn't have a target for her ability.
For her stats and stuff like that, like, she could be borderline great.
Yeah, I think she has the potential to move into that if we see better scholars come out.
I'll take the good.
I think good is fine.
Cool.
And I really like it.
All right. Next up, we have Kanjo District, or however you want to pronounce it. The correct way, hopefully. This is a Phoenix holding. This is Imperial. Strength +2, limit 1 per deck. Action. During a conflict, discard the Imperial favor, choose a participating character, bow that character, and move it home. Cool. This is an Imperial card. Great. Increases your province strength by 2. Great. Phoenix seems like a really strong clan to be able to get the favor almost every single turn. So then having an ability turned on to where they can bow and then send home one of your guys seems strong. It's balanced out by the fact that it's limit 1 per deck. But you could play this and you could play the Imperial Palace. And
what? Are you not losing your shit right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, this seems...
This card's great.
Yeah, like...
Dude, this card is effing insane.
I want you to know I misread this card at first. I don't know how I misread this card at first.
I know how, because you misread every card, but
yeah, every card, yeah. But I reread. I was like, wait, what does this do? And I reread this, and I was like, wait. I was like, because before we were talking about discarding Imperial Favorite, we're like, oh, but that's so hard to get, and I'm like, but not if you're Phoenix, though.
Right, Phoenix.
It's like
Stronghold is built in. Like, do you have a guy standing? You can probably win the Imperial Favor.
Right. Which makes this card incredibly dangerous.
Yeah. If you get it online early, I mean, you don't need it like first turn, right? But you get it turn 2 on, and you can protect it. Then you have an ultimate, like, go home. And the cool thing is, it doesn't have to be, like, it's not specifically targeting that province, and you can use it offensively and defensively. Send somebody out and bows them.
So
That's so disgusting.
This kind of goes against, so right away, this goes against some standards that I have set for myself. Where
what?
Sometimes we all get a little tipsy and our standards slip, but I usually I won't go that high on a 1 per deck in this game because of the odds of it coming out. Okay. And usually I don't like the whole, well, you have to discard the Imperial favor. That's 2 strikes right there. Right? This is Casey at bat, man. This is like, I've let 2 balls go by and I'm not even swinging. But the next one that comes down, I'm taking it out of the park. This is a great card. Why? Because shit, if it was +2 bonus on a holding, is that good? Yeah, man. Yeah. If that just said bow, is that good? Oh, it's pretty good to bow. Oh, it's pretty good to send home. And you're telling me that I can bow, send home, and get +2? All on one?
Yeah, it's just
what are you doing
the problem?
Man?
The problem is Phoenix. The Phoenix has, they already have like great holdings with like their card draw, so they have to fight a little bit on like how to fit it in. But this is a good one, and also compared to the other districts we've seen, like this is how you make a district worth like the limit 1 per deck, right? Is you have a super impactful ability like this that plays into the play style the clan should already be doing anyway. So you don't get the garbage ones like the crane and the lion. Like
so this also, right? This card yes, Phoenix already has holdings already, but this being a one of, it's not like it's flooding deck spots.
Right.
So that is I think that's important to keep in mind. That being said, if you want to play 2 of 1 and this one, because you're like
you're one off, yeah.
So what is important about this card is that you're gonna have to get the favor the turn before. But like you were saying, Phoenix shouldn't really have that problem anyway. And then what I really like is that it's something that now you're going to be like dropping a little bit of fear in your opponent, right? Like if it's a turn and they win the favor, I feel like this is going to be in every Phoenix deck. So the fear of that turning up is going to on the next turn after I haven't won the favor playing against Phoenix, I'm like, oh crap. Especially if I feel like I haven't seen it all game and they win the turn that I'm pushing Stronghold, and I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah. They already before this card had really good ways to like stop you in your tracks or to mess up your game plan. And this just goes back into just like crazy Phoenix tricks, right? They've got more crazy weird shit they can do to you. And but yeah, I'm with you. I think it's great.
You want to know what I think about this card is if you've ever played against Hollis or have ever talked about Dragon, anything with Hollis will sing the praise of and the frustration of Miyamoto's Fury out the yin yang.
Yep. Yeah. It's just so annoying to encounter. It's just like, oh my God, why? Like, why is...
So now you've basically given that to Phoenix.
The best counter was Ready for Battle, right? But then this card also sends you home.
Yeah.
So even if you counter the bow, it still sends you out of the conflict.
So disrespectful.
I don't think you can do. I don't think you can do anything but slot this into great.
Yep, I'm with you. I'll grade it. Great. Okay, well that's it. That's all I got for Phoenix. Now I move on to everyone's favorite clan, the Scorpion.
Yay!
All right. So first up, we have the Illustrious Plagiarist. This is a Scorpion character, Courtier Sugan Joe of Air. Cost 4, Military 1, Political 3, Glory 1. Action. Choose the topmost event in an opponent's conflict discard pile. This character gains each of the event's action abilities until the end of the phase.
What?
What? That's right. You get a character that can copy events in your opponent's discard pile and then play them for your clan. That's obnoxious as F. Yeah. Yeah. This card's caused a little bit of a kerfluffle. With some people, just because its power level can be like worthless to absolutely insane based on what ends up in that deck. Especially because of timing, right? Because if you're going in winning something, or you start to win, naturally your opponent's going to want to play good cards to beat you, right?
You don't want.
You just wait on them. Yeah, you just wait on them to play the good cards, and then he's just like, "Oh, look at what really cool ability I just gained."
But he doesn't have to pay for it.
Correct. He just uses it as his ability.
But he should have to pay for it.
Well, you did. You paid 4 to bring this guy out.
But that's not the same.
What you're saying though? But it's okay though because he's a courtier in Sugan Joe, which is exactly what Scorpion wants. Oh, and he's 3 political. Okay, that seems fine.
That's not fair. No.
Yeah.
Like that's not fair. No, this would be rude. That's crazy.
Yeah. It would be really funny if there's like Yukuni on the table. And Yukuni's like, that's a really good ability. I want to copy the topmost card. And you're,
would be ashamed if somebody copied it.
Yeah, man. This guy's pretty bonkers right now. I don't know if he's like a absolute 3-of because of the cost, but he's definitely going in the deck.
Yeah, so
he's making the cut.
I have a problem with the cost. The 4 costs, I think they have some better choices of 4 cost stuff, but I don't know. Like, if you're Scorpion and you think that this is a great card and you're gonna play it against me, you're wrong because I'm just gonna play shitty events. F you all.
I'm just gonna lose every game.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm ready to bring out my Beast Tamer Matriarch.
Can't get me here, man. What's that, Hollis? When you should have made one of those. You're the meme king. You know the can't copy my events if I don't play events guy. Right?
Gotta roll safe, dude. Gotta roll safe. All attachments, no events. Nothing you can do.
No.
I'll just lose the game. It's fine.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, this card definitely, when it's going in for like the final conflict, right, or the very pivotal battle, his timing messes you up because you want to try to play good cards, right, to win the conflict and the swing, but then you're just turning on what he could potentially throw right back at you.
Yeah, right. You gonna bonsai me, buddy? All right. I'll bonsai.
Yeah, man. You want to play an assassinate against me? That's cool, dog. Uh, guess what my ability is? My ability is to assassinate. That's what I do. That's what I'm writing down on this piece of paper.
Yeah, I don't think it makes the so obviously to me the cost hurts it.
Well, I think the cost is like the one damn bit of balance that's on this card, right? So, I mean, it's got to be somewhere. Otherwise, this card's bonkers insane. Because if this guy was any cheaper, like hell yeah, you'd be a 3 of in every Scorpion deck.
So where are you sitting it?
I mean, I still think he's good.
Yeah, because I didn't know if it was kind of above average for me.
I still think he's good. I mean, I think when he hits the table and he's involved, he creates a headache for your opponent. Whether that's a good or a bad thing, whether it makes you friends, it doesn't. That's different thing, but he does complicate conflicts.
Yeah, I mean, I've played card games before where I mean, you look at Hearthstone, where you know you have cards that if you play a spell, you get a copy of that spell. You know, so it really forces you to play around something that you were not planning to play around against when you sat down at the table.
Yeah.
Can it be done though? Yes.
Do you enjoy doing it? No.
I don't know.
And that's what I think.
It's to me, I gotta say that the stats and stuff like that kind of brings it down to above average. But if Hollis can place it higher than that, then
I'm sorry, Hollis, we can't hear you.
Oh, I think the card is good.
okay.
Okay. Okay.
I think the card is good. Like this, that's so strong.
Yeah.
Imagine your opponent ever playing a 2 or 3 cost event and leaving it face up. That's ridiculous. You get a 2 or 3 cost event for free. You get a Miramoto's Fury.
Well, you couldn't use it if you were attacking, but if they attacked you with the top of their deck, But also makes it super strong if you policy debate, right? Policy debate you. I win. I pick this card, put it on top of the deck. Cool. Are you going to play a card now? Whether you have just to prevent me from now having this ability online?
I'm so mad.
Yeah.
God forbid you're in a mirror matchup. It's like
mirror matchups sound like nightmare scenarios.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's go on to this next one. We have the Oni Mask. This is the really cool card that Scorpion won the ability to play with. This is a Scorpion attachment, item mask. It is cost 0, military +1, political 0, seeker role only. Attached to a character you control. Action. During a conflict, remove 1 fate from attached character. Choose a participating character. Treat that character as if its printed text box were blank except for traits until the end of the conflict. Yeah. So you have to have extra fate on your guys. You have to play the mask, and then you remove the fate from them to then blank someone else.
So Cloud of Mine exists.
Yeah, which is much easier to play out of Scorpion.
Yeah, because I mean, you already have some Shugenja.
Yeah, you have a lot of Sugan Joe and Scorpion.
Yeah, which allow that to trigger. I don't. Why would I play this over? Is there a reason why I would play this over Cloud of Mine? Can you think of one?
No, I think the other mask is way better. I don't think you play this over Cloud of Mind. I think if you get in a situation, this is a good toolbox card you could ever dig to. The fact that like conflict character drops become like insanely popular as Scorpion, so you could then drop characters with extra fate on it. So then you have the ability to play this and trigger the ability. The problem is, right, that's a lot. Like, I play this, I load the fate on it, I play the Oni Mask, I then remove a fate to trigger the ability and turn something off. So you either have to preload everything so your opponent knows that ability is online and they don't commit that character, or you have to be able to time it where there's that gap where your opponent can't then, as a reaction, fire the ability before you blank it with the mask. Just because of the timing windows, that's where, unfortunately, it doesn't have a really good effect because there's gaps for your opponents to try to then be like, oh, well, never mind. Before you blank it, I'm going to go ahead and use this ability and stop that. because it has to be during a conflict you use it. So it's kind of like I could drop it, defend, fire it first, but you're pretty much doing all this work to do what like a Haruma Ambusher does by itself, just for playing into a conflict. I don't think this is a really great card. I kind of fall on like the below average train on this.
Is it bad?
I could probably see it going bad.
I mean,
I think there's way better options.
Like you guys, so you guys brought up Cloud in the Mind, and maybe the only reason to play this is that you don't feel that you can have enough Shigenji to play a Cloud in the Mind.
Which is a very unwarranted argument in Scorpion. Scorpion has the second most, if not tied with Phoenix on number of Sugan Joe in the game.
Exactly, right? So I'm saying that, you know, like, or are you feeling then that 3 copies of Cloud the Mind aren't like is that too much?
No.
Or that's not enough?
I don't think so. I think they have so many removal tools and cancel tools. Plus you have like policy debate. Like there's so much control in Scorpion. I just don't think you need this card. I don't think you need this card that needs as much setup as it does. Plus, again, your timing has to be on point to make this work. And it's really only going to fire first if you use it on the defense. So, yeah, I mean, I could be argued into bad. I think it's at least like bottom of below average.
I mean, unless it's like, you know, 1 out of every so many games, you're going to pull off something crazy here. But I'm even Dragon, and I don't even know if I would burn a let go on this.
Yeah, you'd be like, no, you can have it, man.
Yeah, keep taking the fade off your guy.
It just doesn't.
Yeah.
Keep pulling the fade off.
Yeah.
For me,
yeah, it's probably bad. You know, as you keep talking about it, it's probably bad.
I'm putting it as
bad.
I want to weight it down. I'm putting it as fucking terrible.
Whoa.
Damn.
I'm being a. This is my super aggressive move for this package.
There you go.
Yeah.
This card.
Because Hollis doesn't like kids. He's like, why's that kid holding that mask?
You know what? You are 100% accurate about that, my friend. So this card immediately became terrible when they put a kid in the artwork. That was a mistake.
Yeah.
They should have put me in the eye. They should have put me in the artwork. I would have made the card great.
Anyway.
Immediately great.
Okay, so was it bad?
Yeah,
was that 2 bads, 1 terrible?
It's bad.
Okay,
yeah. But it's noted. Right. It's for the record.
Next, we have Sake House Confidant. This is a Scorpion character, Courtier Shinobi. Cost 2, Military 1, Political 1, Glory 1. Action: while this character is participating in a conflict, discard the Imperial favor. Each Shinobi character you control gets +2 political until the end of the conflict.
Yep. Okay, so let's start off that if you're looking at our sheet, they've done a good job. Of balancing out the Scorpion clan. Scorpion has a lot of good cards. This is one of the cards that's going to go on the bottom of the scale to help balance that out.
This is how they've helped.
No, because
keep the game
right. Yeah. So this is how they design cards. They're like, so we have so many good, so many greats and stuff like this. This is the exact model of the design house inside.
Nice.
The Saki house of FFG. While this character is participating in a conflict, discard the Imperial favor. Each Shinobi character you control gets +2 political. Why is that garbage? Does Scorpion need more political?
Not usually.
And there's
especially if you're playing Shinobi.
And there's not enough Shinobis right now to have some kind of cool Shinobi deck. So boom, boom,
Plus,
boom.
if you've got the favor, are you wanting to just throw it away?
Bad.
Yes, this is a bad card.
Why Imperial favor? What the fuck? For this?
Yeah. It seems like a really weird trigger for that ability. But anyway. Okay, well, that's Scorpion. We're almost there. We got Unicorn and Neutrals, and we've done it, guys.
Oh, man.
All right. This one should be quick. This is the Seal of the Unicorn. Unicorn attachment item seal costs 0. Man, double seal pack. Military +1, political 0. Attached character gains a scorpion or gains unicorn clan symbol and the cavalry trait. Cool, considering that most of the cavalry cards want to trigger when you're in your discard pile, the one that's really good. Other than that, you're just putting the cavalry trait on to give you a target for your stronghold. Okay. Bad. This card's bad.
Yep. Like a lot of the other seals, Terabad.
Yeah. Not many characters you want to give this to and be like, you're a member of the Unicorn Clan now. Like, damn it. All right. So, cool. Any other comments? Or are we ready to keep going? So that was quick. That was a fast card.
Sorry. We're talking about the seal?
Sealed Unicorn.
Mm.
Anything you want to add other than it being bad?
Jeez, I don't know, man.
Yeah, let's keep going because they do get good cards in this pack.
Yeah.
Next up, we have the Shinjo Scout. This is a unicorn character, Bushi Cavalry Scout. Costs 2, military 2, political 1, glory 1. Reaction: after you gain fate for passing in the dynasty phase, gain 1 fate. So it's a 2-cost Bushi's Cavalry, 2 military, 1 political. And if you pass first and gain a fate, you double. You gain 2 fate.
Where did we put the seal in? Bad? I was behind.
Oh, bad. Oh, straight up, man. Yes,
okay.
Bad. This is cool. I mean, this is like a nice, like, good cheap character for Unicorn. It helps to give them economy. It wants them to kind of pass first, but it helps them more if they want to bring out a big guy, load some fate on it, or do two big characters, and then they get a nice economy swing.
For Talisman?
No, we're on the Shinjo Scout.
Okay.
Hold tight. We haven't got to the Talisman yet.
Sorry, hey, I'm the only one that works behind the scenes here, man. I'm lost.
We're on the Shinjo Scout.
All right.
Keep up.
You went ahead.
God. Going in alphabetical order. S comes before T.
Continue. Scout, I'm ready.
Shinjo Scout.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this card is above average, borderline good for Unicorn. So it's got the traits you want, and it can generate economy. So seems cool.
Hollis?
You're never gonna invest additional. Oh, I don't think you'll ever invest additional fate. I feel like this is definitely gonna be a 2-drop that you don't touch again. You don't want to add additional points to. And I guess if I had to,
so if you think about it, right, if you don't invest anything in it, you bring it out to get something that can end up in your bin, right? And you fire its ability, he pretty much pays for himself. Because you get the fate for passing first, and he generates an extra fate. So he pretty much paid for himself. So you brought out a free 2/1 cavalry character.
it just sucks to me that, you put this in play, your opponent sees it like, oh, well, pass.
But I mean, is that okay? Because sometimes that's good for you, right?
Sure, yeah.
That means that then gives you the ability, well, then I can play everything I want. And I can bring out a bunch of people.
That's true, too. I guess you could say that, like, the counterplay, in fact, it could be an intended, like, it is. The potential counterplay is an intended side effect of the card. Maybe you want your opponent to feel like they have to be the first to pass tonight, give you the additional fate that you deserve, the fate that you deserve.
It also can help out a little bit too if you get this turn 1. It can also help a little bit to offset the extra fate for going second bonus that your opponent gets. So if you're able to capitalize and pass first as the first player, and you trigger one of these, you then have gained the extra fate that your opponent got, and your first player. I don't know. It's interesting little things to think about.
To me, I think that I was the other way. I was good to great for this card. Probably settling on good. This is a card that you're hitting the traits that Unicorn likes. So you're getting combo. You're getting that Bushi. You're getting the cavalry. Right off the bat, you're getting it for 2. What happens in Unicorn is usually, I feel like they're the kind of faction that wants to pass first.
Yeah.
So usually there'll be situations where I feel like you're forced to pass because you want to, or because you need to pass. So you're not giving your opponent that option. This card kind of gives you that extra bonus for having to pass at a little quicker pace than maybe you would have liked to.
Also, Unicorn tends to play with a lot of like expensive events, and this helps boost that economy.
And I was gonna say that, and that evens it out a little, right? So,
cool. I mean, I was putting it either above average to good, so I can lean on the good side.
I can definitely lean it on good.
To be honest, though, I'm a little less optimistic about how good this really is. I would put it as above average, and I know that sounds. I'm sorry.
Just because it's a unicorn card.
Yeah, actually. I mean, I definitely think the card is bad. I think it's gonna see some. It's gonna be included in some decks. I just don't know.
Oh, I think this is a 3 of in every unicorn deck right now.
Oh,
you think so?
Yeah. You know why?
They need the boost.
You listen. Well, so let's just talk about it this way. We're 3 teachers right now of a class that's failing. We're grading on a bell curve, man.
Man, honestly, Jameson, when you put it like that, holy shit.
Guy,
screw it. Bump it up to good. I got you.
Yeah,
I'm with you guys.
See what I'm saying? See what I'm
saying?
That
was good. Now you got me.
This is 3x in every unicorn deck because unicorn don't have any other good cards.
Next up, the last unicorn card of the pack is the Talisman of the Sun. This is a unicorn attachment item, Mashoto. Cost 1, military +1, political +1, keeper role only, action. During a conflict in which you are the defending player, bow this attachment, move the contested ring to another eligible province and reveal it if able. That province is now the attacked province. This card's great.
This is the card that Unicorn has been waiting for.
Yeah, this card is fantastic. This is also even a card that's worth splashing into other clans if you're already taking Unicorn. The ability, because there's so many impactful provinces, especially if you time it right with the right reveal, to be able to dictate to drop this and be like, actually, I need you to attack this province so I can trigger this ability and do this to you. I'm going to guide you here. You're now here. This is the province I want to fire and trigger. That is a huge momentum swing. Cards like this is where people get back into having to respect attachment denial and attachment hate again. You were able to cheat on it a little bit until this pack came out, and then they were like, oh, okay, never mind. I had to get back on this bandwagon because Talisman of the Sun's real deal.
There's I'm gonna say that there's a lot of people out there that were loving Spyglass and would go to to Unicorn just to grab that Spyglass, and they're like, what else am I gonna take? Oh shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now you have double, now you can have your cake
keeper.
And eat it too, man. Right?
Yeah, as long as you're a keeper. Just make sure you have to be keeper role only.
Yeah, but who's keeper?
Sorry. Sorry, Dragon.
Yeah. Hey, one day we will keep. But but what is it Crab and Phoenix?
Who are keepers?
Yeah.
Lion are keepers.
Yeah.
Crab are keepers. Phoenix are keepers. And of course, Unicorn are keepers.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah.
Crab and Phoenix, I feel like they can both be doing big things with this.
Yeah, I think Phoenix really likes this card.
Right. So now you have Phoenix. Phoenix can take
Crab
some
likes this card too.
Yeah. Right. So boom, 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 man. I think this gets this might have been a good card, but because it's so amazing, to be pulled out of faction, and it's not unwise to think that it won't be. It's got to be great.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think it's easily a great card.
I don't think there's anything else to say about it.
It's downright disrespectful is what this card is. This shit is so disrespectful.
Yeah, you'll be
disruptive as hell.
Other people will write essays based on how good this card is, so I don't think I don't think we need to dwell on it. Just believe it, man.
All right, we're now into the neutrals, guys. So first up, we have a neutral province, a river along the River of Gold.
Ooh,
this is a water province, strength 4. You have to be the water role to play it. Action. During a conflict at a water province, choose a participating character, switch that character's base military and political skill until the end of the conflict. Okay. So who are water roles right now?
Phoenix?
Are they? None of you guys know. That's so funny.
It's Phoenix.
Okay.
Phoenix is the only one. That's it.
Yeah. So Phoenix can play this.
So
do you think Phoenix?
So hold on. Stop for a second. Don't make me doubt myself again.
You didn't know. You didn't have that confidence, man.
I was throwing it in the great.
I mean, at first,
I took this is
last time I was playing against Phoenix. I think I looked at it and I was like, "What role are you?" And I just saw like keeper, and I didn't even look at the element because I was just like, "I don't know." Whatever.
In the great multiple choice test of life, I'm taking C.
Yeah.
I don't do it with confidence. I just take
cool.
it.
So do you think Phoenix plays with this card? What are the other water cards they're going to replace in order to play this instead?
Well, I mean, Phoenix is already going to take Talisman of the Sun.
Sure. Sure. So, do you think they're going to give up their other options to play along the River of Gold?
No.
No. It's only flipping base. I think if this flipped current military and political, that would be way better. Balance, though. That's probably why it's only flipping base. And it's... Now, granted, you can do it at any water province, which if there was Seeker of Water, then this card would have more uses, maybe. If it's not, it's getting busted right when you see it. I'm not really impressed by this card. I think this card's kind of below average. I think there's better options for water provinces, and I think the one clan that can play this probably isn't playing this.
I mean,
What? I'm sorry. What was that? No, we can't hear you all. Let's try again.
Sorry. I thought I had muted. I'm sorry. It's just the more I think about it, like the more I look at the existing water provinces, I agree with you. I'm like, I don't think you swap any of these. Do you? Like, I can't imagine.
Maybe you do, though.
I don't think so.
Run down the list.
I mean,
all right. So existing water provinces that they can choose from, like, okay, so they have Elemental Fury
and Rally, right?
What?
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah, those are both really good in Phoenix.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
Elemental Fury is really good, especially if you're playing with oh my god, the ring steel card. So to be able to switch to the ring you actually want.
Well, because of all the shit right now, given the cards that are coming out that come out in Phoenix that focus on particular rings, right? So like you want the water ring.
Yeah, Elemental Fury is real good.
Yeah. So because
I said display of power makes it super strong too.
But I don't.
There's just so many better synergies.
But I don't think that devalues this card below. To me, I just think this is. I think this could be
an average province.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. It doesn't. The problem with the way this is like, this is only able to be played in one clan, and that one clan's probably not going to pick it because there's better options.
Yeah.
You're probably never going to get to find out whether this is good or bad until later in the season when you can actually put in some new roles. So it's just never going to get its fair shake
Yeah.
until that happens.
All right.
I'm still going to go below average, though. Sorry.
No.
It doesn't change my vote for below average.
What's the next card?
Okay, Mia Satoshi. This is a neutral character, courtier, daimyo, imperial. Cost 4, military 2, political 4, glory 2. Action: discard cards from your dynasty deck until you discard an imperial card. Then discard a card in a non-stronghold province you control and put the discarded imperial card into that province face up. So I play this in Lion.
I knew you were going to say. I knew you were going to say
because he's hyper mill. He lets me either just burn the deck so I could bin keepers to then trigger and pull in keepers, or bin really good targets for the spirit callers. He's super good for like hyper mill, and if you play keepers, he's a cool option for having an imperial character. He gives you another courtier, which is never bad, but he gives you a way that if you play with other imperial cards, which a lot of these decks are using them, are probably playing with Imperial Palace. They're playing with like a copy or two of him. And then you're probably playing with like storehouses and stuff like that to kind of work as stops. And you just fire his ability to burn a bunch of keepers into your bin, so then you can keeper trigger and bring out 2 to 3 keepers at a time. It's pretty cute. But I think Lion has a good argument for him because we have enough recursion. So between loading up spirit callers, it also fuels up who's the other courtier? I don't use them in mine, but there's the other courtier that, like, if you lose the political, you can bring somebody in from your discard. Like, there's enough targets of recursion in Lion that he's worth thinking about in that clan. So, but that's his use. So I think if you're keeper, he's an interesting option to play with. I think a Lion keeper can argue more because they have more use, but that's...
Yeah, and then and Paul's saying he's got some function in Unicorn.
Oh yeah, it's true. Yeah, because you can burn in a bunch of stuff for like cab reserves.
Yeah, he's got the some use in Phoenix. I mean, I don't think he'll be used in Crab.
No, I don't think Crab need him.
But so that being said,
I'm nonplussed. To me, this is still very meh.
Really?
Like, even
I think it's good. I think the problem for me is it costs 4.
He costs 4. He's a 2/4 courtier with the Imperial. Oh, this has got that like disgusted little girl face. So, yeah, I'm in like I think I'm in like the above average to good. When I first saw this card, I thought it was bad.
Oh, really?
Right? I was like, oh, that ability seems stupid. Like when I saw the preview, I was like, what would you ever use this for? And then I started playing him in decks like that, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, this ability's pretty awesome. To be able to be like, I haven't seen any keepers yet. Oh, there they are. You're just like churning through, and you just burn all your keepers out, and all of a sudden you ring trigger, and you're just like, here's a bunch of keepers now. Value. It's pretty neat. But I do agree the cost is kind of high, so you're only going to do this kind of like late game, which is fine. That's when you're able to get your keepers online. But when I say late game, I mean probably like turn 2 or 3, which is still strong to be able to bin a bunch of people.
This card is
he's a combo enabler.
Okay, so what were
right?
you,
he's like the power shutdown.
So yeah, so I was where I was going with this is I was gonna say that this is the card that finally brings out the janky players that like those people that really want to pull off something and they're doing some weird combos and whatnots. This is the enabler.
Correct. If you're a CI player, this is your power shutdown. Bring out the Satoshi, power shutdown your deck. Bring out crazy stuff.
Ban Satoshi. Let me get on that bandwagon early.
Yeah.
Ban Satoshi.
Where were you saying he lies, Corey?
I mean, I still think he's above average.
Okay.
I don't want to go into good.
I'll take him down to there. I think he's definitely going to see play.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I'd put him at average, but I feel like it's going to average to above average regardless. So
right.
I think it's fine.
Well, I was saying good. If you're saying average, then yeah, that does pull it to above average.
Cool. we got there. All right, guys, we're down to the final card. The final card for us for the Imperial cycle. And that is Mono no Aware. Aware? However you pronounce that.
Aware.
But sure, thanks, man.
I really hope we end on a good note here. For how long?
Neutral event, cost 3. Action, remove 1 fate from each character, draw 1 card. Max 1 per round. So this card's seen some really strong play in a lot of the drop bear style decks because it allows them to, if you buy in and just put 1 fate on characters, it helps them clear the board. So because they're just like, nope. It's also good defense against for Greater Glory.
This is interesting.
Yep. It said it's good for conflict deck, like drop bear style decks. It's a really strong denial card for those type of builds. And it helps to enable those styles of decks, which right now, Scorpion being kind of like top dog currently, it's a pretty obnoxious card in that game plan. It's pretty good. I think as we see better counters or some better things come out, it'll lower the power level of this card. But this card does help to kind of keep things in check a little bit. And also, you have to be careful about just putting 1 extra fate on somebody. Now, granted, their clans, it's not going to impact that much, right? Crab, it's not really going to hurt that much. They can kind of play around it a little bit better than some clans can. Clans that are not really putting fate on people anyway, like Lion, it's not really hurting them too terribly because they're not really fating a bunch of people. Yeah, it could suck for Greater Glory, and then they mono aware to get rid of it, but you've also made them spend 3 fate. While you really only spent 1 to add all that fate, so that's kind of a cost curve swing that you're sort of okay with. Yeah, and then Unicorn's another one of those, right? It's not such a big deal because they've got cards like Cav Reserves. Now, granted, again, this card's mostly getting played in probably Scorpion at least, and they've got denials and answers for those tricks, so it helps to play into the control game, and it's a good card for the control build.
These ones are hard for me to rate. I really feel that a card like this is needed. I feel like it fits into some decks, but I feel like it's very situational for you to pull value out of it. And it's only because sitting at a 3-cost event does get it toes the line for being a little bit pricey. And for you to have that much fate held back to use it.
Yeah.
And
if you think about it, right, it's almost like the 5-cost remove 5 fate Phoenix spell. Like, if you're not getting a good value off spending 3 fate, then it doesn't really feel like a good play. Yeah. Because it's costed pretty heavy.
And after that, watch yourself, because if it gets canceled, you're only just going to want to kick yourself.
Now, Scorpion get the ability that they can play conflict cards for 1 less. So Scorpion can play this for 2 if they have their holding out.
Or they can play it for 0 if it's in your opponent's discard pile, and you have the plagiarist.
It also means that the plagiarist is probably leaving play that turn.
Yes.
So, yeah. I mean, I think the safe play is to put this at least in average. I do think it's a high skill cap card. I don't think it's like, I think it's very specific decks that want to play this, and it's for control-y style builds. But it's a nice card to have in those decks. It doesn't hurt every clan you play against, but clans have to be aware of it as an option in certain matchups.
Yeah, I was kind of leaning towards above average at the state that it's in right now.
Yeah. I mean, I think right now it's hard to deny that it's in the above average state. I hope that the meta game shifts a little bit as we get some next new releases to help balance out the impact this card can have. But it seems like something that it wouldn't take a lot to shift it back to lower the impact. That's why I kind of feel like average is a little bit of a safe play. Because it's not like...
Yeah, I'm sticking. Well, we'll see. We'll see where it can go. If you say average, I say above average. You still got.
Hollis's opinion.
Still got 1 horse in this race.
I don't know. I feel like I think removing fate and then drawing a card is.
It's true. It does replace itself.
Oh yeah.
Is a pretty good. I mean, that's a decent trade off for the effect that you have. So like you said, it's high skill. If you do it appropriately, yeah, you lose and your opponent lose, but you gain.
From
Right.
from each character.
Right. Like you end up gaining the benefit where you end up getting a benefit where your opponent does not. So, but it's expensive to do it. I feel like the card that makes it above average. Personally, I think it makes it above average.
Cool. You did it.
We made it.
All right, folks. That's it. That is the Imperial cycle finally.
Ooh.
So now you'll see the Disciples of the Void get moved to On the Boat tomorrow. And you should be seeing it at the end of March. When you get some new cards.
As Dwayne The Rock Johnson would say, what could I say except you're welcome?
So now, yeah, we just wait for new cards.
All you
right?
Moana fans out there.
Yeah. Anyway, so if you stuck through this whole thing and you watched this whole series, huge thank you to those folks. Now we just kind of wait for some more L5R content and stuff to kind of come out. And if you have some ideas or things you would like us to do or interested in us checking out, hit us up. Let us know. There might be some other things we can do other than just like pack, overviews and stuff like that.
Thanks, Paul, for being active in the chat.
Yeah, thanks, Paul.
And Hollis.
Shout out to Avers. Yeah. I appreciate it, buddy.
Thanks very much for everyone who tuned in. I hope you enjoyed the cycle. Looking forward to what's coming. And we are out. Later, everyone.
Have a good night, everyone.
Later.